Hey, it's been a while since I last uploaded. A little refresher, last episode we did 15 quests, taking us from March 2009 to April 2010. Break time's over. It's time for some updates. I count 72 of them. Jeez. Let's do it. March 25th, 2009. RuneScape shops get an overhaul to show more information on items being sold. Quick prayers are added, and they can be set and activated using the prayer button on the minimap, just like how Old School does it today. May 6th. Jagex brought back the wilderness. Well, kinda. They created wilderness-only worlds. They work like PvP worlds where if you kill another player, they have a chance to drop their loot or an amount of generated loot based on what you're risking. It also has Bounty Hunter included, meaning you'd get assigned a target to kill, which has more loot than an unassigned kill. Regular worlds still have the no PvP system, with revenants being the danger in the wilderness, so it's a little odd still, but at least it's a step forward. May 27th. Jagex adds an improvement to the in-game world map, Dungeon Maps. Now you can open the world map and see the layout of the dungeon you're in. Also, they introduced the filter option for game chat so that messages that frequently flood the chat box are no longer shown. June 9th. Run Energy. This is a massive change, one of the biggest ones since the Schism. Run Energy now restores faster and drains slower. You can now rest anywhere to restore run energy and hit points faster, and listen to musicians scattered around the world to restore them even faster than that. Agility levels now also improve how much energy is drained while you run, and finally, they removed agility benefits from free-to-play. Also, seaweed nets are added. I've literally never heard about these. Apparently you can make them with flax and bronze wire to hold seaweed? Neat, I guess. Also, a new herb is added, Wargali, used for fletching and crafting potions. June 16th. A bunch of changes to bounty worlds, which we don't really care about, but something iconic was added today. The Edgeville Wilderness Lever. June 22nd. Some early agility courses are given new advanced sections for high-leveled players. The Gnome Stronghold and Barbarian courses both have pieces of weight-reducing clothing that can be claimed by completing enough laps of each of the advanced courses. July 8th. Mobilizing Armies, a new strategy minigame, has you controlling an army that's pitted against another player's army through various scenarios. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't play this a single time and it was removed from the game in 2018, so it's not something we could experience even if we wanted to. July 15th. Oh boy, are you ready for this one? Possibly RuneScape's third most infamous update ever. Farouk's Tools for Games. Farouk is a new NPC in Al Kharid that runs his own store selling various games items. One of those items saw a lot of use, the dice bag. All of a sudden, players can make use of a completely random number generation system, and oh boy, was it used. Good thing this wasn't in the game when you could free trade, right? Well, spoilers. Free trade will come back, and the dice will still be in the game when it does. Say nay to gambling. July 28th. Animation Pack 1, an improvement of many animations in the game, is introduced. This creates some big changes to the way characters move while using certain items like God Swords, the Abyssal Whip, Darok's Axe, Long Swords, Scimitars, and a lot more. On that same day, the Aqua Knight is added, a new Slayer creature found in the Fremennik Slayer Cave. It drops a bunch of seeds. August 18th. A new room in your POH is available, the Menagerie, a place where you can store your pets. September 2nd. A massive overhaul to the NPC shop system. Shops are now personalized. You can't buy an item someone else sold to the store. You won't even see it. This also means that no one player can buy out the stock of a shop, and world hopping doesn't do anything with shops anymore. On the same day, Jagex removes the necessity of wielding a staff to autocast spells. Now a spell can be autocasted simply by clicking it in the spellbook. On even the same day, Jagex completed another massive overhaul, this time of the RuneScape game engine, dubbed RuneTech 5. This allowed many new features to be added, and one well-known feature to be removed: the selection of low detail or high detail in the webpage. It's just one button now. Click here to play. September 9th. With the release of Forgiveness of a Chaos Dwarf, a new minecart is added to get to Keldagrim right from the Grand Exchange. And a new pickpocketing mark, the Consortium Traders, are added. September 17th. Living Rock Caverns is added, a new mining and fishing area beneath the dwarven mines of Ice Mountain. Guarded by massive rock creatures, skilling here is a dangerous but incredibly lucrative endeavor, sporting the best healing food in the game, Rocktail, and concentrated coal and gold deposits that never deplete. Also, they added... Wait, what? A text cursor to the chat box to allow you to move within any text you type to correct typos or No way that's in the game and I didn't know about it. I am chatting. Now hold shift and press left. No way, what? Well, how about that? September 23rd. A woodcutting rebalance that adds a bunch of new features. Teak and mahogany trees now have a chance to drop special logs, which can be used to trade at the sawmill for free cutting of planks or just gold. Choking ivy, a new XP-only woodcutting method, is added around the world. Hollow bark can now be burnt at various torches around the haunted woods in Mauritania for fire-making XP, and restoration of prayer. And finally, a new high-level training method called sawmill training has a player cut logs into various planks for woodcutting XP. Sadly, that got removed when Fort Ferenthri overwrote the lumberyard in 2023. October 7th. Yet another banger of an update. High-level herblore potions. Essentially every combat-related super potion now has an extreme variant. Add a new tertiary ingredient to those super potions to upgrade them, and they're untradeable. So now a higher herblore level makes you better at combat. Also, Super Anti-Fires, a potion that grants complete immunity to most Dragonfire without needing Protect from Magic or an anti-dragon shield. And perhaps RuneScape's most iconic potion, the Overload. Drink it, and you'll lose half your health, but your stats will be constantly boosted for 5 minutes. Also, something interesting, apparently the game logic had some checks based on a player's IP address, and all of those were removed in this update. Slight tangent here, but do you remember when Squirkin was a fad on old school? Some players would get caught way more often than others, and the only confirmed way to resolve it was to use a VPN. That's interesting to think about. On the same day, a new tint next to the Makeover Mage is added to let players create a forum avatar. Just go inside and take a picture, and bam! Your character now shows up in your forum posts. October 13th. Within the Light is added, and along with it, the ability to type a K or an M when typing an amount of items. Neat. October 20th. The next achievement diary, Ardoyan, is added, with the Ardoyan Cloak as a reward. With this update, the long-needed removal of red barring. When a character is dropped to a very low HP, their health bar would turn completely red. They still had a couple hit points left though, making it hard to tell if something was still alive or not. Also, apparently Murky Matt at the GE will combine teleport jewelry. I actually didn't know about that. November 9th. A few more champions are added to the champion challenge, including the Leprechaun champion that doesn't need a scroll to be challenged. Some new hairstyles, the concept of skill total worlds, specific worlds that only allow players with a minimum skill level of 1000 to log into. Item packs, or bundles of noted items you can purchase in bulk amount from stores. Many quality of life tweaks, and adjustments to the dropped amount of Tokkul from Tazar. November 17th. A bunch of magic-related changes. Now, if you boost your magic level, you get a magic damage boost of 3% per level. That's actually wacky to think about compared to old school RuneScape today. Imagine if Tombs of Amascut salts increase your magic damage by 60%. Anyway, this is when surge spells were added. 4 elemental spells, a tier above the wave spells, and they cost 1 blood and 1 death rune per cast, along with air runes and the appropriate elemental runes. Runecrafting gets a buff with it as well. If your runecraft level is between 2 multiple rune requirements, for instance, at level 14, which is between 2x and 3x air runes, you have a chance per essence to make 3x runes, and that scales as you get closer and closer to the milestone. One final huge quality of life change is cannons will no longer waste a shot on enemies that have just been brought to 0 HP. December 8th. A new Slayer Master is added with her own dungeon. Kuradal, daughter of Duradel, has taken hold of a part of the ancient cavern accessed through the whirlpool near the waterfall. She has a requirement of 110 combat and 75 Slayer to get a task from. Welcome to 2010, ladies and gentlemen. January 19th, 2010. Barbarian Assault sees a rewards overhaul. A Penance Horn is a new shield slot item that can store firemaking, agility, and mining XP. When held and when experience is gained in that skill, you consume that much experience from the horn and it's given to you, effectively doubling the experience gain. When you get roll points in Barbarian Assault, you can instead choose to charge the horn with experience. Recolor options are added for Abyssal Whips as well, a new Trident staff that saves runes when used to cast spells, and a lot more, including changing the chat heads of dwarves. This dwarf had its chat head change from this to this. Ugh. On that same day, some new agility skill synergies are added to fishing, hunter, and thieving. Higher agility level will allow players to get double fish, double, triple, or even quadruple pickpocketing loot, and butterflies can be caught barehanded if you're agile enough. February 1st. Law, Death, and Blood runes are given the ability to roll to craft double per essence, with the chance being higher and higher as levels increase. Also the Orb of Oculus, a machinima tool. Gosh, you remember when videos about video games were called machinima? Anyway, this orb allows you to free cam and move your perspective around to get cool shots for your videos. Hey, remember that free trade is still not allowed? Well, if you're friends with someone for a few months, your limit gets quadrupled, so that's something. February 8th. New Slayer monsters called Strike Worms are added to the game in 3 styles: Jungle, Sand, and Ice. Jungle and Sand drop the new items, the Focus Sight, and the Hex Crest, which are the ranged and magic equivalent of the Black Mask. They can be combined with the Slayer helmet to make it the all-in-one hybrid accuracy and damage boosting item for Slayer. Ice Strike Worms drop the Staff of Light, which has a 1 in 8 chance to not use runes when casting spells, and give a 15% magic damage bonus. And has a special attack that reduces all melee damage by 50% for 1 minute. February 16th. A new summoning minigame is added, Familiarization. A player projects themselves to the spirit plane, taking the form of one of the spiritual familiars. Run around collecting spirit shards while avoiding the predators hunting you down. Get rewarded with some summoning reagents or even triple charm drops for a moderate amount of time. February 22nd. Implings can now be caught barehanded, and there's 3 new types: Spirit that drops summoning items, Zombies that drop bones, and Kingly that drops some expensive and regal loot. March 3rd. Another massive change that is distancing us further and further from old school: Constitution. Hit points as a skill is gone. It's now called Constitution. Hit points as a resource are replaced with life points, and the maximum a character has is 10 times your Constitution level. Basically, they added a 0 to health. 50 HP before is now 500. Effectively, nothing has changed, but visually, all the numbers are bigger, and now Jagex can be more precise with damage and healing values. Now, for the first time in the series, the amount of life points we have is historically correct. On the same day, RuneScape added a game login splash screen, or lobby. Instead of typing in your username and password and immediately landing in the game, you're now greeted with a lobby screen where you can chat with your friends and select the world to play on before actually jumping in. Similarly, when logging out of the game, it actually puts you in the lobby, so you can stay logged in without needing to type in your username and password again. Still on March 3rd, a small tweak to iron smelting. The success rate of 50% now scales all the way up to 80% by 1% at a time for every level gained after 15. You know, how about another March 3rd update? Shattered Heart. Strange rocks have been found while skilling around the world. These rocks can be placed, 2 at a time, at a statue plinth in the Varrock Museum to rebuild the statue of Damarok, an ancient wizard cursed to never be whole. With that comes a bunch of other small changes, including the ability to purchase a faster killing blows perk with Slayer points that automatically uses the required item on monsters like cave slugs, desert lizards, and gargoyles. March 12th. RuneScape's first bonus XP weekend. A very interesting decision that Jagex made, letting players who log in during the weekend have up to 10 hours of boosted experience rates on every single skill, starting at a staggering 2.7 times the regular rates, scaling down to 1.1 times. I think this might be what started the perception of the game being much faster to level compared to the past. And I will tell you, this is just the beginning. There are still bonus XP weekends in the game every now and then. March 23rd. A brand new fishing minigame, Fish Flingers, is introduced. Players can be granted entry tickets by fishing around the world, and they can be redeemed at fishermen positioned near those spots to participate in Fish Flingers. During the game, players compete to gather the most trophies by running around a small island, fishing at different spots and trying different lures, weights, and baits to catch the biggest fish in those spots. Rewards include fishing XP and tackle boxes, which are items that will hold fishing tools like harpoons or rods, as well as fishing bait. April 12th. RuneScape's newest skill, Dungeoneering, is added. I won't go too deep into it here because I'm going to talk about it more when I'm doing it. Dungeoneering is a skill that takes place within a single area, Daemonheim, a shifting dungeon found by exploring Fremnix with a deep lore, dangerous enemies and puzzles, and immensely powerful rewards. April 21st. Each Slayer Master now has the chance to offer you their own unique challenge every time you request a task from them, such as Simona will give you a Cow Fight Queen task. We did it! We made it all the way through every single update. Can we, play the game now? Almost. I just want to mention real quick, there'll be no Sealy Peas this time. With what I have planned for this episode, we'll be getting somewhere near like 200 anyway, so they're not needed. Instead, we'll have a to-do list. I want to experience almost every update mentioned here that's still in the game today. As for skills, we need to get at least level 50 Dungeoneering, 70 Construction, 78 Attack, 70 Crafting, and then assess our strength and see if we can't take down any bosses we've yet to slay. Okay, it's time. Ooh, we can finally use quick prayers. We can sit down. How cool is that? Deep Wilderness Lever in Edgeville. Oh, yeah, we might die? Not likely. Can't gamble, but we can use a stopwatch. Build ourselves a menagerie. Oh, we need to start at Oak upgrade. There we go. And now we can let all of our pets roam around the house. Hey, Leia. New minecart. Living Rock Caverns. We have the level to mine here, but not the pickaxe. Still not too bad though, but not really useful to us yet. Wood cutting, choking ivy. We can chop some bark and light these torches. Very weird. Take a picture. Okay, time to do the Ardoyan diary. Looks like we're just under halfway on every set. Pray at the church in West Ardoyan. Get the citizens to throw tomatoes at the recruiter. Talk to a citizen about selling a cat for death runes. I would never, ever sell Leia. Enter the combat training camp. Attempt to picklock this door. Buy a skewered kebab. Talk to this guy about servants. Kill a unicow. Ask Tyndale Marchant about identifying swords. Use this obelisk. Try and board the fishing trawler. Still so silly that Iron Man can't do it. Read this notice board about shooting stars. And finally, sell silk for 60 GP. Hey, we can teleport here now. Nice. Moving on to mediums. Pickpocket this master farmer. Mine some Rubian, and then sell it to Ezekiel Lovecraft. Mine some coal. Catch a fish here. Steal a nature rune. Kill a sword chick. Use the fairy ring inside the unicorn pin. Grapple over Yanil's south wall. Okay, so we need the enchanted key that melted after we found all the treasure with it to do this last achievement, but we can only get it back from Jorl by destroying all the Mjolnirs. Here goes. Okay, dude. There. We talked with Sarah about herb lore. Oh, she didn't know it had a name before. She likes herb lore. What about RS3 Released lore? Oh, there's the mediums complete. The town crier upgrades our cape, another 7.5k herb lore XP. On to hard. We need to kill a wild jade vine, but that is going to take 3 hours after checking its health, so we'll do that a little later. Kill a shadow warrior. Air guitar by the musician south of Ardoyan. Use these monkey bars. We also need a papaya tree, so that'll be another 16 hours, but it's protected. Now we need to use a catapult in Castle Wars. I got a couple buddies to help me. It was kind of hard because this friend decided to use an old school RuneScape account that's never logged into RuneScape before, and he decided to make his profile a hardcore Iron Man. So we needed to figure out a way to get him safely to Castle Wars. We made it with his status intact. There we go. Have at you! Heh. Steal from this blood rune chest. Pickpocket a watchman while wearing gloves of silence. Teleport to Thormac from the Magic Guild. We next talk to Baba Yaga about a spell in the spellbook we can't use. She says she just rediscovered it and wants to tell us a story about the ancient founder of Lunar Isle and how they created the altars. And even created altars that can make any type of rune, Orania. She teaches us the spell, and we use it. Kill this frog eel. And now we just wait for our plants to grow. So now I've been keeping all the Shattered Heart stones and, nice. We talk with these two archaeologists in the museum and they tell us that the rocks are the shattered body of the ancient wizard Damarok. They let us use the plinth nearby. We place all the rocks on the statue and get like 100,000 XP and a bunch of skills, and then... Yep, looks like the curse is still active. We get a replica plinth for our POH, and a single one of the rocks we need to build it. Well, I think it's time to do something we were born for. No tutorials, grab the ring, go into the first dungeon. So it sort of forces you to do a somewhat ease-in tutorial, baby's first dungeon floor, and where it starts you at the lowest complexity. Essentially that just means that there's only combat, no puzzles, no skilling. We just need to kill monsters that are blocking these guardian doors, and we use keys we find in each room to unlock the specific doors they go to. I'll see you at the boss. Astea Frostweb. This boss gets full immunity from one style at a time, so we just gotta use a different one. Easy dungeon, level 3. Complexity 2, pretty much no difference in this one. Same boss on this floor too. Only have this bow, but she's almost dead. Punch! Nice. Level 6. So as we get to full complexity, there's more puzzles in each room and more skilling options. Daemonheim dungeons are all randomly generated. You can choose to create a dungeon of small, medium, or large size. In each dungeon, there's always one boss room, which is essentially the finish line, so the goal is to get to the finish line as fast as possible, while also opening all optional doors for more dungeoneering XP. Sometimes there's a key on the floor that we pick up and use to the corresponding door. There's also skilling doors where there's a minimum skill level required to open, and it's pretty random. There's only a single obstacle that will slow us down based on our restrictions, and that's if there's ever a divination door that we have to unlock. There's a non-zero chance that one of these doors in this dungeon will require we use divination to open it, and if that happens, we just have to reset if it's a main path door. Now there are doors that won't lead us to the boss that will require divination. We could just skip those, and that's fine. But if we run into one of those that leads to the boss room, we're out of luck. Nothing else will stop us from completing a dungeon though, so We're all set. Oh hey, new boss. Luminescent Ice Fiend. This one makes itself invulnerable, and now we have to keep moving around to avoid these spikes. Not too hard. So this is the crux of doing dungeoneering at this level. There's going to be a ton of rooms we just can't complete. Easy, Ice Fiend. And now we have unlocked full complexity. Level 11 dungeoneering. So here's where I want to explain my plan with dungeoneering. Unlike most of our other grinds thus far, we're not heavily restricted here. I want to get at least level 50 dungeoneering this episode, with the long-term goal being to eventually get a chaotic maul and a chaotic staff. That means we'll need at least 4 million dungeoneering XP, putting us at around 87. 16 dungeoneering. Okay, I want to try a large dungeon. Here goes nothing. Excellent. We did it. That's a large dungeon completed. And a new boss. Plane Freezer Lacranaz. And that's the last room we can clear. The other doors are not accessible. Pretty easy boss fight. Just shoot him down. And that gets us from level 16 to 25. That's awesome. Quick aside, the Jade Vine is done, so we just need to kill it again. Easy. Back to another large dungeon. We can actually get a pretty decent bow with our fletching level. We just need a Corpse Thorn tree. There's the Corpse Thorn tree right there. So that's an upgrade from our tier 6 bow to tier 8, just like that. Found an arrow upgrade in a chest. Ooh, it's a Frost Dragon. These drop some really good bones. We can find an altar in the dungeon to use these on, and it works just like a gilded altar. Boss found. Another dungeon completed without getting soft locked. Here's an altar for those bones. Nice. We are really close to 70 smithing, so I grabbed some more just to get 70. I grew some Valerian so that we can make an artisan's potion. Now that we're 70 smithing, we can make Catagon arrowheads, which go with our new bow. Drink the potion for the 77 fletching requirement. And nice. That's 100 tier 8 arrows. 6 more dungeoneering levels. That puts us at 31. These are going pretty quickly. Another dungeon complete. 35 dungeoneering. And I think, yep, the papaya tree has grown. Once again, we have every single achievement diary completed. 28k herbal XP gets us to 72. Back to the Heim. Another dungeon completed, but we actually now have our best crafting method unlocked. After completing the dungeon, but before proceeding onwards, we can sell everything we gathered and buy these hides and make bodies out of them for 100 crafting XP per body. It's going to be our best crafting method for a long time, so I'm going to do that at the end of every dungeon from now on. That's 2 more dungeoneering levels. Another dungeon done, and a new boss. This one's Tokash the Blood Chiller. I don't even know what his mechanics are, honestly, but he just kind of dies. Another 2 levels. And yeah, I died, but that's okay. And another floor done. Level 42 dungeoneering. That was the last frozen floor. Now the theme is going to change. Welcome to the abandoned floors. It's really much more of the same, with different enemies and a different color scheme, and a couple different rooms. Oh, and all new bosses. The Divine, Skinweaver, and Skeleton Invasion. Skeletons come out of the holes in the wall, and once enough are killed, the Skinweaver tells you that you can break one of the tunnels. Once all 5 tunnels are broken and all the skeletons remaining are killed, you can talk to her, and the fight is won. 43 dungeoneering. Oh no, it happened. The level 1 divination door. I went around opening every other door. That's the last one I can open, so it's for sure the path to the boss. Man. Oh, well, at least we get some XP. Level 44. The Hobgoblin Geomancer. Lowers your stats and binds you, and moves around the room. Level 45. Ooh, a Catagon Rapier. That's the highest tier we can use right now. I'm gonna keep that for later. Check this puzzle out. I know how to solve it, and now you will too. Jump here, drop your gatestone, jump back, jump to the opposite side, and then teleport to the gatestone. Now the energy thing can't get to us. Check it out. 72 agility. No. Whew. It scared me. So in Dungeoneering, I mentioned it a little bit before, but there's something called the main path. Basically, it's a path from the starting room to the boss room. The main path will never have a door that you don't have the skill to open. So that means the divination door right here isn't part of the main path because it requires more than one divination. I am very glad. Ah, there's the Geomancer. Nice. We got a bunch of doors open on this one, so we should get a bunch of XP. Nice, 47. Almost to 50. Another floor, another level, 48 Dungeoneering. Dungeon just started and see another divine door. But it's not the main path, okay. This is probably one of the least liked rooms in all of Dungeoneering. It takes so long to fill this barrel completely. Bruh. The Unholy Cursebearer. Drains your stats. You can restore them at these fonts around the room, but they heal the boss, so we're going to try to avoid that. 50 Dungeoneering. So this reward shop is kind of interesting. It's seen many changes over the last 14 years, but a bunch of it's still the same. Rigor and Augury used to be a part of this shop, but they were always sort of dead content because everyone who was high enough level to get them would be on curses all the time anyway. The best in slot weapons and necklaces were all from this shop. Chaotic Staff for magic, crossbow for range, and a plethora of melee weapons. The necklaces were split in half sometime after their release, and now they require a Zilliana drop plus this remnant here to make. Free-to-play also got a massive buff, with this shop having the best in slot weapons for free-to-play, Gravite. Outside of combat, they also introduced these ground cleaning items, Bone Crusher and Herbicide, automatically destroying related items after receiving them as a drop, and a bunch of skilling scrolls, which provide perks related to specific skills, like my favorite one here, the Scroll of Cleansing, giving a 10% chance to save secondaries when making potions. We still need some more crafting XP, so let's do some more floors. Ah, man. There we go. This was a really good dungeon, only 2 inaccessible rooms. Not a ton of gold from that dungeon, so still have to do a few more floors for 70 crafting. Nice, that's the most XP we've gotten from a floor so far. 51 Dungeoneering. Welcome to the Furnished floors. Less than 100 more bodies to go. Another 15k Dungeoneering XP, level 52. I've been at this room for like 5 minutes, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. The ferret is going straight through the traps. Ugh, finally. I have no idea why that worked. 53 Dungeoneering. Still getting at least 1 level per floor. Not bad at all. Well, not getting a level for this floor. New boss, Rammernaut. This boss is dead. I'm sure he has nice mechanics. There's our level 70 crafting goal. 54 Dungeoneering, which is where we'll stop for now. So now we need to figure out how to get, well, you can't see it, but it's 360,000 construction XP. That's 4,000 teak planks, which will cost 2 million gold, or oaks, which will cost 1.5 mil, and we'll need 6,000 of them. Whichever we choose, we need to figure out something. How do we make a lot of money? I think this is the answer. Well, that took, at least 9 minutes? Oh, wow, that's actually solid construction XP and like 100k in raw gold and alks. Yeah, I actually totally spaced on penguins. Let's finish this clue and check how many we have. 2 clues give us 130k, not super great. That one took like 15 minutes, and I think that was actually quicker than the last one. I don't think the last one was really 9 minutes. Jeez, darn. We only have 8 points left. We need to get like 150 points to get from 70 to 63, so not really a super good method, but at least it's a supplement.
Hey, are you going to the Abbey?
Leave me alone, there's a penguin that wandered in there. Oh man. Oh well, we'll need to skip that one, I guess. There's all the penguins, puts us at 24 this week. Check this out, we can find polar bears now. So that actually reduces the amount of XP we need down to about 285k, which is kind of huge for just like 20 minutes of running around. I keep thinking about what else we can do for the cash, and it always comes down to Slayer. It's just Slayer. That's the best moneymaker in the game for Iron Man. At least we can tell it to Shiloh now. 4 mithril dragons. I think we can do this? It's finally time. Slayer Helm unlocked. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Oh yeah, these lamps from Recipe for Disaster and some other quests, I can't remember. 268k to go. Now that we have quick prayers, we can actually properly prayer flick. That's neat. Task complete. We got the bone for the Rag and Bone Man wishlist. Nice. Water Fiends. I found a way to add XP drops onto the screen without being too intrusive, so that's good if you're into that sort of thing. We can finally decant potions at this guy. Task complete. We will forever be cursed to do Sukas. I really don't want to spend the points to block these, so task complete. Not a terrible task, but also not a good one. Dog food. Dagonos. Task complete. I swear, Sukas and Water Fiends are all we do all day. 73 Slayer. Big milestone. That's Jungle Strike Worms unlocked. Task complete. Aviancies. 83 Constitution. Not hit points. That skill is gone. Constitution. I just one-shot that Aviancy. Ooh, new collection though. That'll be nice in 3 years. We've unlocked the Transfigure ability. I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's an ultimate ability. I don't know that I've ever used that on any account ever. Another thing for 3 years from now, I guess. Okay, 1 kill left in the task. I want to see if we can kill Kriara. We have like no food left, so maybe not, but whatever. Public encounter. Oh, it's really low. Someone must have fought it until it out. We did it! It didn't count for the kill, but we did get a kill count, and geez, we almost died. Oh, we could not have done a full kill. Task complete. Grotworms don't exist yet. Greater Demons. 78 attack, that's our attack level goal. Mahogany Wood Spirit, what the heck? This game is weird. Task complete. Ooh, nice. 1 in 256 for the Hexcrest. Let's get it. Something neat we unlocked is a new teleport to the South Feldup Hills, where mobilizing armies used to be. These are actually really decent Slayer tasks. Good herbs, teak logs, or, well, spirits, but still, and not bad XP. Oh, we did it! That was only like 35 kills! There's our black mask for magic. Now we just need the focus site for a full Slayer helm. 74 Slayer. Ooh, a second Hexcrest on the second to last kill. Task complete. Ooh, Hellhounds. Easy task. Black Dragon task complete. Scabberites. 79 strength. Task done. Hey, guess what? We got a Hellhound task, and guess what? We did it. Grotworms again. Black Demons. 77 ranged. Fungal Magi don't exist. Grotworms don't exist. You're kidding me! There we go. 75 Slayer, and 75 Slayer is huge for 2 reasons. Gargoyles, and the new Slayer Master Kuradel. Task complete. Looking through her Slayer assignment list, it looks like she can only assign us 2 tasks we can't do. Grotworms and Adamant Dragons. That sounds wonderful. Once we get our Slayer level up, though, that'll change, because she'll be able to assign us Griffalaroos and Griffalapines. But whatever. Goodbye, Lapalok. Hello, Kuradel. Tazar? Oh, geez, we just got a Jad task. That's her special challenge. Wow, that's nuts. Let's do it. So, we tried the fight caves a long time ago. We're much stronger now, but it's still going to be difficult, if not impossible, because of one monster we have to kill 33 times. The Ketzek. The fight caves was made to be much different compared to old school RuneScape after the evolution of combat, because of one specific change. Prayer. Prayer doesn't always reduce damage to 0. In fact, it almost never does. That Dagonoth task we just did is pretty unique. Using Protect from range reduces damage from them down to just 1, but pretty much every other instance of damage in the game is instead cut in half. That's a pretty big problem. Even if we pray correctly within the entire cave, we're still taking half of all damage. Every other monster within the caves is more than fine. We can heal from blood spells pretty easily, but the Ketzek has a unique problem. It hits up to 112, reduced down to 56 with Protect from Magic. If we had to kill a few of these, there'd be no problem, but we need to kill this thing 33 times and it has 1500 health. We need a plan. So I recently watched a YouTube video by Telecon, who got a fire cape by flinching and flicking almost every single monster in the cave. But the thing is, I've never flinched anything in RS3 before. I hopped onto my other account and went to try to see if I could figure it out. So it works kind of the same way it works in old school. There's 2 differences I immediately see. The monster loses interest and stops targeting you, but it also heals to full health. I think it might work differently in the cave, though. I was right. Check this out. That bat never loses focus and never heals, but it's still flinchable. I don't think corner trapping is an option though. Good news everyone, flinching works! But we have a big problem. Without a corner trap, no matter where we stand, unless we block line of sight entirely like we did at this pillar, the majors will still be able to hit us. Unless there is a possibility that in all the years of adding more noodles and ragu to the spaghetti code, something big was changed. See, in old school, you can't flinch with anything besides melee. It's just how it works. If you try to use magic or range, the monster will same tick retaliate and hit you back. But what if, just what if, that's not the case in RuneScape? Here's the Ranger. If my knowledge is correct, it should have the exact same mechanics as Majors. So what works for this Ranger will also work with the Major. No way! It works! Okay, so it looks like you have to at least take a single hit to get them into position, but once they're there, ladies and gentlemen, our fire cape is possible. No, even more than that. It's easy! Now we have blood spells, sure, but I don't think that's gonna be enough. Especially if we're in a situation where we need to take some hits from a major to get into position, or at the beginning of a wave. That's where this beautiful sword comes in, our Enhanced Excalibur. Every 5 minutes we can click it and say, nothing? Let's fix that real quick. Now we can click it and say... What the heck? Oh, I had local chat off. Geez, how long has it been off for? Now, as I was saying, now we can click it and say, For Camelot! And heal 20% of our max HP, which is about 1 shark. We also have a 5-way switch between magic and melee, and a Falador shield which will recharge our prayer to full 1 time. Let's do this. Going really smooth so far. I just realized we can even position them without taking any damage, just by running out of their range. Now we can flinch it for free. Interesting. Check it out when we have 2 rangers stacked like this. We can flinch both of them at the same time, but only if we attack the one in the back. I think that has to do with how AoE target selection is done. In old school, you wouldn't be able to barrage both of these at once, you'd only be able to hit one or the other. In RS3, target selection uses similar logic based on the southwest tile of the primary monster being hit, but instead of only hitting monsters that have touching southwest tiles, it hits monsters that touch the southwest tile of the targeted monster with any of their tiles, not only their own southwest tile. I don't really get it either, and I don't know if that's exactly correct, but I think that's what's going on. The Melayers are here. For sure the easiest monster to handle in all the caves. Here it comes. I'm only about 99% sure this will work. Oh, it is in the bag. Now we just have to kill 33 of these and we're home free. There is a downside to this. Any monster can spawn in the area south of us, including a major. If that happens, we'll have to make a split-second decision, but because of how we're staying at high HP and taking it slow, there shouldn't be any problems. New problem. If a ranger and major are stacked like this, we can't flinch both because the major's southwest tile isn't touching the ranger. The bat is in the way, I think. I bet if we just move here... Oh, this is so cool! Two rangers and a major stacked. Just hit the one in the middle and pray mage. Wave 53. The next 6 or 7 waves are going to be the hardest in the caves, but, we haven't used a single one of our supplies. This method is so good we could just come in here with runes in our mage gear and we'd make it through. Wow. This is the perfect wave 60 spawn. And that was the final ranger. This is the last meleeer. 2 majors and 1 wave next. Not a great spawn, but it could have been worse. Jad is next. So something I haven't told you, the reason we have a melee switch that we haven't used a single time is because we're doing a melee Jad. Here we go. What? How? Why? Well, off to a great start. Oh, it's based on when it hits you, duh. I was doing it like on old school where it's based on when he shoots the projectile. There we go. Much better. Now the healers spawn. Let's get them all. All right, home free. Let me really quick show you why we're meleeing Jad. Yep, you can flinch him the entire way. That's absolutely no fun, so here goes nothing. Ow! Task complete. See, this would be a great place to end the episode on, but we still need 70 construction. Back to Slayer. Gonna use lunar spells to get a task. Oh, nice. Well, we have to go to our dungeon anyway, so this is gonna be a lot of money. Oh right, these things also drop a ton of gems. That reminds me. The cheapest and arguably one of the most useful rewards from Dungeoneering, the gem bag. This baby will hold so many gems for us. Ooh, a ferocious ring. It gives us a 4% damage boost when worn and 5 teleports back to Kurodao. Another collection log, Dark Mystic Top. And another, the Granite Mall. Bop, bop, bop. A second ring. Task complete. 270 points for our 50th task. Bloodveld. Look how much raw cash we got from that gargoyle task. That's more than $500,000. So we only need 1.5 of that for the teak planks. That means we can give some money to Miscellanea. So there's this raking method from old school that I want to try here. Rake both patches and... Whoa, we're getting 3% rating per rake? That's kind of nuts. Anyway, rake both patches, wait for them to grow 1 cycle, and... Hop worlds. When we log back in, they should be fully grown. Aw. Oh well, there we are, 100% approval. Put in 825k, which gives us 2 days worth of maximum collection, and we'll get 675k of that back in 2 days. In the meantime, we sit right here and idle chop away. I think I found a good way to get there. Mobilizing armies teleport, use the bank here, use the spirit tree to get to the poison wastes, grapple across, and bam, we're there. We also have these special logs. They're used as a sawmill to get free plank cuts, but we don't really have a sawmill anymore, so we'll see. What? Where's our grapple? It broke? It can break? Oh man. Well, there goes this path. 77 woodcutting. Hey, it's been a while. 78 woodcutting. As you can see in the chat box, it's now after 18 o'clock, which means reset. Wait, what? Relog maybe? Oh, right. It's based on when we completed the Throne of Miscellanea. Well, good thing I record literally everything that I ever do. Dang it, we completed it at 10 a.m. 1 hour before we put the money in this morning. We gotta wait till tomorrow, I suppose. Oh well. Anyway, we have 2,700 teak logs, and I learned something. There is a way to make planks in the old style before we get to the one in Prifddinas. Actually, there's two. The first one is, there's a plank maker in Remington. Now, he doesn't exist until 2013, but we can't really make planks with a sawmill anymore either. I don't like the compromise, but if you remember a bunch of episodes ago, we made a compromise by just dropping the cash and using the sawmill, but I really don't like that. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna move our house to Remington, go outside, and boom. Free teak planks using these special logs. Next, build a bed, and another bed, and hire the Demon Butler. Now we just teleport to our house, have the Demon Butler take our logs to the sawmill, and leave. The planks are in our bank. Okay, now we have a bunch of planks. Here's our training method. Grab all of them noted, hammer and saw, come to this table, break it, and make a new one. Have the Butler unnote our planks, and repeat. I randomly decided to build a costume room. That'll be useful in the future, I'm sure. 64 construction, 65, there's 66. We got 2 rocks, so that's a free 4k XP. Found a better way to do it. Noted teak logs. If we had the Butler unnote them, he'll do it, bring them back, then ask if we want him to go to the sawmill with them. And boom, easy planks. 67 construction, 68. We're out of money and almost out of logs, but that should be okay because our kingdom produced. Empty the coffers and take our produce. 69 construction. Okay, we're done making tables now. We talk with our good buddy Chuck and spend our points, and that's 70 construction. We're done. Jeez, that was a long one, huh? Thanks for sticking with me to the end. This episode was a super fun one for me. Next episode, we're gonna have to do some unavoidable quests that I actually haven't done since I was a teenager. I don't remember them at all. That'll be a fun time. Subscribe so you know when it comes out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.